Hey guys, this video is to introduce my opal pigments. These pigments are made with mica flakes, which is a natural occurring mineral, and then colored in multiple different ways. Now I have a sample here that's got some color marking on it and a sample here that's blank, so you can see. Let's start with number 7. How they look. Now I've pre-soaked these for 5 minutes. I use a little bottle like this and pre-soak them. When you're getting ready to use them, you want to make sure they're mixed. Like my glitters, you want to make sure that the consistency is fairly thick. Not quite as thick as the glitters have to be, because glitters have a little bit different parameters, and these can be a little bit more watery. So I'm going to paint this right over this green bit here. So these are cosmetic-based mica flakes. And the reason I call them opal pigments is because when you look at them in the pan, they sort of stack up in little tiny fragments, and it looks like an opal. So you can see here that they're fairly sheer. Let me do a little bit over this guy so you can see what they look like. Very sheer. Clean my brush off. Let's do number 5. Again, it's been pre-soaking, but you just want to agitate it a little bit. You don't need a toothpick like you do with my glitter pigments. Glitter paints, rather. It's not a pigment. So here we go, we're getting that nice consistency. It's not like water, it's moving a little bit thicker, a little bit like maple syrup. Let's look at what that looks like on top of the pink. And then on the white. Let me shift that in the light so you can see. And gold is one of my favorites. Let's do that one next. I use this one a lot. Really vibrant gold flakes. I don't know what that looks like on white. So they're not as big flakes as glitter, and because they're a natural mineral, they're slightly translucent. You can see how the light affects that. I did a sheet over here without any color behind it, just to show you what these different colors come out to be. And I did this one a little earlier on black, so you can see they really jump out. I use these on top of papers where it makes sense. Like I'm working on this cover right now, and you can see very gentle spray of that pink shimmer. So I refer to these as like a shimmer. The flakes are very small. You can't feel that texture. Like with glitter, if I rub my finger over glitter, you can feel the edges of the glitter. They're hard, they're hexagonal shaped, cut plastics, glitter, solvent resistant glitter. So they are significant, you can feel them. But with these particles, you don't feel it at all. You can run your finger across and they don't pick up, and you can't feel it. So there's green, purple, gold, pink, blue, green, and peach. And the green has a little bit of a back color that's sort of gray sage and gold flakes. And the peach has sort of a burnt umber with gold flakes on top. So that's my opal pigments. You can see how subtle an effect that is, but then when the light shifts just right, really pops. And make sure you clean your brush well in between uses, but don't let, watch, I pick up my brush. You see how all that water falls off? If I put that in here right away, I would dilute the area where my brush is in, and I would just pick up the glittery flakes without any binder. So you want to make sure that when you put your brush in, you always mix it around or dry it off first. So if your brush is damp, it won't contribute any more water, but if you want to do that, make sure you swirl it. Get that water really mixed in. Because if you don't do that and then you paint, then wherever you put that really thin watery wash, like that, it won't have any binder in it, or at least not enough to keep it down. If I come back here later and I try to push around this bit, it'll totally wipe off. But this part, where I just spread it with a nice thick consistency, then it will stay. Add it just a little bit more to that. There's enough binder in there to make that stick